very carefully screened.
The minister, Hector McNeill, told Parliament that the Ukrainians had been screened twice before and that no war criminals had been found.
Hector McNeill was either being deliberately economical with the truth, or in unparliamentary language, lying, or else he had been fooled by the Ukrainians. In either case, what we now know about the division's history suggests that his reply is worthless.
The Home Office has confirmed that Hector McNeill's answer is still official government policy today.
It is quite wrong to insist on the kind of reports that were created immediately after the war in those chaotic conditions as still being valid.
The historical record does not reveal precisely why the British Prime Minister was so generous to the Ukrainian division. There is some evidence that other agencies had an interest in their arrival.
The period from the division surrender until the division was eventually brought back to England is extremely murky. I know for a fact from the people that I have spoken to, a number were trained by Western intelligence agencies, be them American or British, for clandestine operations to take place behind Soviet lines in the immediate post-war period.
And these people had been former members of the Galicia division?
Yes, indeed they had. That was the basis for them being selected. No question about that whatsoever.
By the time the Ukrainians arrived in the United Kingdom, the British government was fed up with trying war criminals. They had no appetite for further war crimes investigations or war crimes trials.
No member of the Galicia division has ever been tried for war crimes in Great Britain. And we could find no evidence that any member has even been investigated for crimes committed in the service of the Nazis. Government records which could help expose the guilty men have never been made public.
1,500 former members of the Galician division live in this country today. It would be naive and unfair to suggest that everybody within the Galician division was a war criminal. But by the same token, a small element undoubtedly were. They should be pursued and punished, and the rest should be left in peace.
These military formations are presented as those that fought for the liberation of Ukraine. It did not serve Ukraine. It served the Germans. It was not fighting with an armed opponent. It was fighting against civilians, against the civilian population, against defenseless people.
There should be a reopening of the question of the Ukrainian division. Who these men were, how they got here. Why were they not investigated years ago when the evidence and the witnesses were available?
Why destroy a man's life? Why be a shit and punish people?
We are under a moral obligation to bring to justice those who were responsible for an evil crime, even if it was committed over 50 years ago.
You know, if it was 1945, I would order them to be cut and salted. Today, maybe, I would forgive them. But I will never forget this. Never.
Let God judge them according to their own conscience. They should come to terms with themselves for what they have done.